Good morning, everybody. It's Kevin, and today is Monday, the 22nd of February, 2021. I hope you're well and you're rested, and the weekend was great for you. Here in the Carolinas, we saw the sun. It was lovely too. The energy of the sun, the love of the sun, that feeling that you get when you think, oh, little plants and small things in the yard are beginning to green up a little more. And I've noticed that the sun sets a tiny bit later, especially when it's sunshiny. So spring is coming. I've been watching the birds for the last couple of weeks, busy with their nest building. Not so much making a lot of noise. I think that's coming. I think about 2 or 3 weeks you'll start to hear that chirping and singing, and then at night they call to roost. Um, they're chirping and carrying on. So there you go. Spring is on the way. Yesterday, I spent the day studying. I have 5 of 10 lessons finished of the course I'm on. It's self study, which I actually like. It removes the feeling that there's a deadline or homework has to be completed or you've got to have this ready by this date and time for a meeting. The self study does require some discipline. In my own experience, I've noticed that sometimes I don't complete things if it's a self study. Removing the deadline or removing the thing that but the by when date makes it less important, I suppose. They're not less important. I just don't know why I don't prioritize it. Anyway, let's get on with today's message. So I'm learning about choosing a daily card and how to prepare for that, to carve out the space, to get centered, to make the veil between the spiritual message and the physical life a little clearer. And there were some things I was already doing anyway. And there was much I learned about, it's a process. What I have been doing over the course of the last 5, 6 weeks is removing clutter, removing things I don't need, things I don't want, things I haven't seen, and just clearing it out. I've heard a lot of people doing that. I'm thinking that if I'm going to have a smooth, easy way forward to lighten, to lift, to be part of what I consider to be a new energy that's emerging, it can't be weighed down with baggage of things I don't need. I think it's also a reflection of, without really connecting the two, when we ask for that prayer of protection to be put in the bubble, and we bring in Archangel Michael, which is the archangel of all archangels, or all angels that matter. Archangel Michael's energy is beautiful blue. I see it as gorgeous cobalt blue, electric blue, and asking him to cut the ties that bind us to people, places, situations, drama, anything we don't need. And that's a reflection of what's happening. So today I pulled a card for myself this morning, which I agreed to share because I think I'm an open book. I like learning. I like talking about learning. I like talking about the process of learning. It makes it less like I got to prove something to anybody. And I certainly don't know it all. And I love learning new things and discovering new things and then sharing them. Like, this is what I got from it. Instead of, I never did really resonate with teachers who, when I was in school, taught at me, not to me. Some of my grade school teachers had this expectation that you're supposed to get it, you're supposed to understand it. And the way I grew up in the school system, not so much at home, but if you didn't get it, you didn't understand it, then you were stupid. And so I like the idea of teaching in a way that's open, generous, and experimental, because, at the end of the day, those of us believe when we return to spirit, we should have done a good job while we were here. Anyway, that's just my take on it. My card that I pulled was Harmony and Resolution. And Harmony and Resolution basically says give up all your troubles, stop the conflict, let it go, give it up, move forward. Interestingly enough, I kept that card out with the purpose of sharing it with you. And part of the homework in the lesson, in lesson 5 of this course, is to keep coming back to the daily card. And then perhaps once a week doing a 3-card spread. So I'm going to go with that for a little while and see how it works. And since we're entering the period of Lent and Easter, which to me is the Christian holiday of ending and rebirthing. Lent is about giving things up and relinquishing so that something new can take its place. We're constantly always doing that. The ebb and the flow. To grow, to mature, to keep going. We experience the things that life's willing to give us, and when we've had the experiences, they go. So no accident that this card popped up for all of you. I found a new ritual of sitting quietly, which I do anyway. This course has allowed me to organize more what I was already doing. I just really didn't have a framework for it. It just was more organic. I like the organicness of being free with the way I do things, but the organization when it comes to the structure of doing them, the order in which they should be done. And with ease and grace, there's no rush. So for me, my way of being has in the past been, I've got to get it done. Let me finish it up. Let me do this first. Let me get all this done. Let me get all this in. Let me finish this up. Let me get this going. Let me do this. I've got to do this. I've got to get this finished. I've got to do that. La 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 la. There was an insistency in it. Yesterday, as I'm going through these different courses, listening to Kyle talk about the different aspects of them, he shared with me that when he gave himself a reading, which sometimes for spiritualists and those with unphysical gifts, we call them clair gifts, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. And then there's a cognizance, claircognizance, a feeling, a cognizant feeling about something. When he was talking about those things, when it comes to giving yourself a reading, you really need to let the guardian angel sort of take over and bring the message through. And he shared that he has been the kind of person who felt like he needed to do everything. And I share the same thing, that if I don't get it done, no one's going to do it. And I was sitting back thinking, well, where in the world does that come from? It's up to us. I think it comes from perhaps a little dollop of impatience, wanting it done, seeing it, knowing you can do it and getting it done and finished. and doing a good job. And that's where those two conflicts come in. The fear of giving up that idea that we have to do it all, that we're independent, that we want to show ourselves as being, we've got it, we can do this. The fear of relinquishing that independence lies partly in the control of how it's going to be done, by whom it's going to be done, and then trust that whomever's going to do it, A, will honor the commitment, and B, do it right. So the fear in folks wanting to do it, being in a hurry to do it, getting it done by a deadline, whatever that fear is, takes away ease, and it certainly eliminates any kind of grace. So to rely upon a human person who may not be at the place of ease and grace or the prioritizing of it causes those who are staunchly independent to dip into the control factor and kind of dive down that aisle of manipulation. That we're not satisfied unless the person we've given our task up to is on it. That micromanagement energy pops up. That creates the conflict. The conflict is really about us. It isn't about other people. Yesterday I talked about how blaming is draining and exhausting. Conflicts are very much the same. And to get in front of the conflict, to live with ease and grace, we must look at where is the conflict being created and by whom. And if the conflict's within us, we're creating it. And it might be great to say, well, stop the conflict, give it up. Well, how do you do that? You know, if it's a habit, how do you give up that way of being? Well, that's very simple. Find the root. Find this idea that you have to do something by a certain time. Yeah. So I hope that this card, Ease and Grace, gives you permission, gives you the skill set to approach today, look at this card, study it, flow, let things flow as they will. You know, breath flows, the heartbeat flows, blood goes around the physical body, it just flows. It goes and it flows. And see if anything comes up with you just letting go and doing things with ease and grace. If the phone rings, are you jumping to answer it? Are you anxious about who's calling you? If the emails ping, 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 are you eager to drop whatever you're doing and take a look at who's emailing you what they want? Or can you just take a bit of time to carve out a new way to move forward? Yeah. I feel different today. I feel a lot more relaxed, a lot more centered. I didn't answer my phone much yesterday. I got to the house cleaning. With 5 pretty good sized dogs and all that rain for the last forever. You can imagine there's no not much grass left in the backyard. Even though I've got an apron of hardscape, they call it. It's space with crush and run and pebbles and all kinds of things that really help to keep their claws and their pads in good shape. That's not enough. They still trek all that mud in. And I'm always at this battle between, here we go again, I got to sweep again. Oh, goodness gracious. So, I thought yesterday, stop complaining about it, Kevin, and just do it. And I did it, and it felt good. It took me a while, it took me several hours to, get that all done. And then to turn around that my puppies were bored and decided they were going to get into one of the dog beds I've got. Has all this brown stuffing inside it that makes it nice and plush and comfy. Well, they were in that. Found a hole, made the hole bigger, pulled the brown out, made a big mess on the floor again, which is fine. I mean, that's what they do. They want something to do. People get bored, dogs get bored, and stuff happens. So there's that. All right, let's get today's reading, see if it marries up with I'm organizing my little room here. Gonna probably find a little shelf to put books and things on, so they're not just flopped up all over. Not that my desk is a big mess, it's relatively tidy, but there's things on it that I need to tidy up. This is the next thing. I've got I wonder if I could turn this. I should probably see if I could turn this camera. And hang on one second. Let's see. Oops, that came back up. Talk about ease and grace. I should probably turn this camera to see if you can see. I've got this monitor here that whoop, there you go. Look at this. This monitor right here is full of post-it notes with affirmations on it, and then they're all up the wall. So at some point today I've got to go about organizing all of that, or at least tomorrow, Wednesday, whenever. I'll get to it. I like the affirmations I get that I write down. Like one is transmitting vibrational energy, and another one, what did I write down the other day? I am more than enough. And then I expect all my good intentions to manifest. Earn with your attitude. What's another one? Only good lies before me. I have a wonderful life, which is really the truth. And then this one keeps falling down. I get putting it back up, it keeps falling down. So I think this is a reminder: launching rockets of desire to expect to receive what is asked for. There you go. I'm going to leave these cards here for today to remind me of tidying with ease and grace and removing to resolve all conflicts. All right. Oh, I like today's message. I can't wait to read this. Magic is in the air. Oh, dear. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I haven't felt I know they're here. I haven't felt my little angel love this morning. Yeah, and I'm not getting any goosebumps, so they must be sleeping or so. I know they're here. I feel them. It's just they're not going, yay. All right. This is in the words of Melody Beatty. This is her book, Journey to the Heart. I left Washington's Hoh rainforest, pausing near the moss-covered trees. My walk through Moses Park had indeed been a trip to an enchanted forest. Centuries-old trees covered with mossy hair, shared their stories with me. Felled trees lying on their backs beckoned me to touch, to sit, to rest a while. Sunlight glistened through the entangled underbrush. The air swelled of nature's sawdust. The ground was warm, moist. Nature sprites dance. Nature's spirits danced and played along the path. The birds serenaded with me, giving me calls and whistles and songs, like sounds emanating from a flute. Magic was in the air. We can visit places that are magical to us, enchanted forests that remind us of life's wonders. We can visit them knowing that when we leave, we take their magic with us. We'll see more and more of life's wonders in ourselves, in others, in the world we live in. People will appear in our lives at just the right time, saying the very words we need to hear. A book will speak to us. A new way to earn money will be revealed. A loved one may leave to follow his or her own path, and a new love will come into our lives. Old issues will be resolved. Healers will show up on our path. Ideas will come to us, seemingly out of the blue. They're gifts from the universe. We can have them whenever we want and wherever we go. Come with me to the enchanter's forest. Trust the magic in the air. It is real. Take it with you wherever you go, for the magic you feel and want is yours, if you simply believe. I like that. That's such a good message. It's a fantastic way to start this Monday, I think. So let's get settled. Let's get centered. And let's get ready to meditate. I'm going to lead through the prayer of protection and ask that guides and angels come with whatever message they want to add to that. So we'll start off just to get yourself centered. Close your eyes. Just get centered with your breath. Pull more air in. Let yourself breathe with gusto. Breathe into the spine line, into the bones of your spine, the spaces between each one of your vertebrae, and let the resonance of that vibration from the singing bowl just permeate. Connect with your physical body. Bring your mind to the soles of your feet. You may press them down to remind you that you're grounded. If you're seated, ensure that your back is supported or you're completely aligned. Press down with your basal chakra, the area of your sitting bones, and lift up from your heart, lift up from your chest, lift up from your shoulders, and feel that expansion. And let's begin. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for cutting the binds and removing the unnecessary obstacles of people, of places, of situations and stories that we no longer need and no longer serve our purpose. And thank you We're cutting those binds and removing those obstacles right now. We declare that we are free and safe. And we take the burdens of the world off of our shoulders, and so it is. And bring your hands to your heart chakra. You can either repeat after me or to yourself. I am the keeper of my mind and my body. Wherever love and joy, happiness and light is, fear, darkness, negativity are strangers. Love and light, joy and happiness are here. And so it is. Turn on your smile and connect with what makes you feel happy and grateful. Thank you, angels, for showing us you're present, for showing us you're with us, and for revealing what we need to know. I'm willing to listen and receive and share. And so it is. I picture that golden light showering you, coming towards you. Let it swirl around you, creating a sphere, a bubble, and a field of lightness. Let this light golden energy fill up completely, overflowing the cup in your heart, overflowing the top of your head and just expanding outward. As you expand this sphere of energy outward from you, begin to imagine other spheres of light dancing around, coming towards you, being near you. Each one of these spheres of light be with the experience of whether they are coloured, perhaps they have a tinge of pink or blue, tinges of green, orange, or lilac or yellow. These little fiery balls of energy represent your spirit guides and your angels. Allow the energy to settle around you. Notice where they are. Are they on your left, your right, above you, below you, or all around you? Allow your mind to be quiet. To settle in with ease and grace. As you sit, breathing your breath, knowing there's nothing to fix, nothing to get right, nothing to do, but be here in this present moment. Stay present to what you are experiencing, and through your third eye center, the area between your forehead. See if you can expand that vision, expand that view. If you find it challenging, to get clear images or hear clear messages, don't worry. The continual practice of sitting and opening and being open and listening will tune in to the frequencies your guides and your angels need to find you. If you find your mind drifting off, replaying your to-do list, bring it back to your hands or your feet, or the love within your heart. you find it super challenging to sit still and breathe, this is a message that you are to unclutter your mind. Breathe deeper. Focus on your feet, grounding into the core of the earth, and know every burden, worry, anxious thought, unresolved issue can now be given and released. Send those energies down through the soles of your feet and allow Mother Earth to take them, to use them, to transform them. For those of you who are experiencing the energy of your angels and your guides, the messages, continue thanking the angels, thanking your spirits, thanking the Source Creator. Just continue breathing. Listening, and seeing. If you feel complete, you bring your hands to prayer at heart center. Lift your thumb knuckles to your forehead. And together we bow and say, Namaste. Gently bring yourself back into the room. I sometimes, when I'm in that meditation, feel like an energy coming through to guide it. I watched yesterday a YouTube video that Esther Hicks did on the Valentine's Day, and she was being interviewed, and the interviewer asked her if they could speak to Abraham, which is the energy she channels. And she shared with how she came up with the name of Abraham, because spirit don't have labels, they don't have names, they appear to us. Well, if we knew them in life and they went to spirit, sometimes I've brought in energy from people and I've seen how they would have appeared in this life, how they would have appeared as they were, for me to understand who this is. But your angels come to you, appear to you in a way that you would recognize them, in a way that you would see them. So Esther was talking about this group energy, or the energy of Abraham, and it took her a few moments, and then she went right in. I learned to channel in the late 80s, early 90s to do it. Following, back then we called it Yogic Breath. We now know it as Ujjayi. And it's not a coincidence, I don't think, that I pushed it on pause sometimes in the late 90s. I had a couple of negative experiences with it in a group setting, in a public setting, that I didn't like. And then at that time was on the heels of all those psychic network shows that I felt were a little overkill. It didn't seem to be the right time. So I stopped it. Didn't really do a whole lot with it. Had a few private clients that still called me. I still have clients that call me and say, what you told me 15 years ago, everything came to pass. That's not my point. My point is that now the energy of switching into the two worlds is the same energy that we've always had access to. And if you find yourself being called or being drawn or being attracted to energy, spirits, the other side, past loved ones, it's a good indication that they're wanting to get in touch, or they have messages for you, or they've got something to say to you. And if you begin to get that joyful, soft feeling, especially if it brings on an emotion, they're definitely getting in touch with you. There's the spirit guides that we know and we love, that we want to be around. Then there are angels we don't know that have always been around. And there are archangels that are over those angels that are constantly working to be curious. And there's an encouragement from spirit world to get in touch with the human world, especially in times of trials, conflicts, because the new energy has to come through. And as we put pay to our conflicts and resolutions and all of this for something new and decent to occur, there will be turmoil that pops up. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I'm going to continue working Facebook Live until March 1st, which I believe is a week from today, and then I will be transferring over to YouTube Live and posting back to Facebook to see how that goes. All right, have a great Monday. Start the week off on the right foot, not the back foot. And I love you, and I wish you all the best. Bye.